This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode 77 of Horse Tip Daily, a different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. Today's topic is sponsored by EasySignsOnline.com, your connection for the holiday gift that lasts a lifetime at EasySignsOnline.com. Enjoy today's tip. I'm Glenn the Geek from Lexington, Kentucky, and welcome back to Horse Tip Daily. We are back. Sorry about the missing a couple of days this week and getting a late start. I'm feeling better now. I normally produce a new show every weekday. This week I will get 4 out to you, Wednesday through Saturday. Then next week I'll be back on track, and I do apologize for the delay, but was down and under the weather for a bit there. Today, we have back with us our good friend Craig Thompson. Craig is an international eventer and clinician. He is well known for his teaching abilities and has a loyal following of students. He runs the very popular Aiken Eventing Camp and Aiken Event Horse Sale. In addition, he was one of the founding members of the Professional Riders Organization for Eventers. We'll get to Craig in a few seconds right after we hear from EasySignsOnline.com. With the holiday season fast approaching, it's time to start thinking about gift giving. This year, consider an affordable personalized sign that lasts for many years to come. The friendly folks at EasySignsOnline.com have the answer to your gift giving needs. From custom horse farm signs, entrance signs, stall nameplates, vinyl banners, pet memorial markers, or even magnetic business signs for your truck or trailer. A great stocking stuffer idea for your gift-giving needs this year is a colorful, personalized nameplate from EasySignsOnline.com. They're great for horse stalls, barns, mailboxes, campers, dog kennels, and hobby farms. Using their unique website, you get to choose the options you want on a sign using a fun step-by-step ordering process. With custom sign prices as low as $19, you are sure to create a unique and memorable gift that fits within your budget. And to top it off, they are offering free shipping and up to 20% off listed prices today. See their website for details at EasySignsOnline.com and start saving and give the gift that will last for many years to come. That's EasySignsOnline.com or call 1-800-640-8180 for more information. Now on to Craig Thompson. Well, hi, Craig, and welcome back to Horse Tip Daily. We always appreciate you being on.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, and I know we're recording this actually in July. They may not be listening to it then, but things must be getting a little toasty down there in Aiken this time of year.
Oh, we've had some 101, 102-degree days, that's for sure.
And you're one of the very few that stays there and doesn't head north.
Well, I guess I'm a trendsetter. How's that?
Or you like the heat, one or the other.
You know, I spent last summer further north, and I liked it, and I got to do a lot of things, but sure is nice to be at home.
Yeah, there is still nothing like sleeping in your own house and your own bed and your own barn and the buckets the way you want them and all of that stuff. So, so what do you have for us today, Craig?
Well, I just wanted to talk about how to teach our horses to halt easily. And I'm not talking about halt at X when we go down the center line of the dressage ring. I mean, just halt like a nice, polite horse.
Okay.
And
so this can apply to anybody, trail rider or whoever.
And it's the place I always think that I watch and I think boy, someone needs to go learn this is in the warm up for cross country or show jumping. You know, you've got horses and riders flying around, and there's just so much to be said for being able to say whoa and have your horse stop, or say whoa and have your horse at least slow down and ask, well, what are we going to do? And it's not about pulling on the reins, and that's such a hard idea to get our heads around when we're learning to ride. But, to me, a real good exercise, and it really puts the horse on notice. I always say to my students, one of us has to be in charge, either the rider or the horse, and it works best if we, the rider, is in charge. And
you break less bones that way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, if you think about it, a human brain is 1,300 cubic centimeters, and an equine brain is 250 centimeters. Two should be making the decision. That's kind of how I think
heard
of
it put that way before.
Yeah. But I'm also a big believer. I teach a lot about using our voice, and if we pull on the reins, most horses will slow down, but they'll also stick their head up in the air and their back will hollow, or the quality of the canter suffers. But if we're cantering along and we want the horse to slow down and we just say, whoa, and they slow down and we've never touched the bridle, well, then their head doesn't come up in the air and their back doesn't get hollow. And it's such a useful tool. You know, if you think about your show jumping and you jump into a 6-stride line and you jump in a little bit bravely and you still want to do 6 strides, not 5 or 5.5, you can pull on the reins, but when the horse's head goes up and his back goes hollow, you'll have to pull down at the next jump. But if you say, whoa, the horse waits and you get to jump out over the next jump clean. The other place that's real useful is on cross country. You know, a horse galloping cross country, you know, every time we pull on the reins, we lose time. You know, you add a second to your time. But if you come around a turn before the water jump and you say, whoa, and the horse lowers his haunches and his withers come up to you a little bit and he says, oh, what are we going to do? Then you can say, well, we're going to jump that log and land in the water and keep going. But we got to pull on the reins to do that. We take the horse's focus off the jump, that we take away from the quality of their gallop, and it just takes too long. So a real simple exercise that I like to start with, and really it does all go back to this, is we have here at the farm, but you can do it anywhere, we have a riding arena with a 2-board fence around it, and then we have a jumping field with a 4-board fence around it. I love my 4-board fence because it works like the wall of an indoor arena. I will canter on a straight line up to that 4-board fence, and I won't turn left or right. The horse isn't going to jump a 5-foot 4-board fence. But when the horse starts to turn left or turn right, I just ride him straight and I say, whoa, and the horse stops at the fence. And we start without ever pulling on the reins to create an association between what it means when I say whoa and what I want, which is for the horse to halt or eventually a half halt or a little bit of collection or a little bit of waiting. And it takes the whole physical part of getting a horse to wait out of the picture. You know, and it doesn't work great the first time. You can't up to that 4-board fence and the horse tries to go left and you fall off to the right. You know, you think, well, that wasn't very much fun. But if you canter up to that 4-board fence a few times, and I'm talking about a working canter, an easy canter, and you don't touch the reins and you say, whoa, but you don't turn left or right, they stop. And what you find pretty quickly is that then when you're riding around the ring or riding around a field or riding around your cross-country course, without pulling on the reins, you can say, whoa, and the horse's ears will come back to you, and the horse will say, oh, we're going to do something. And sometimes that's just checking in. Sometimes, you know, it's between fences 10 and 11 on cross-country, and I just want to make sure the horse is still with me. Sometimes it's because we're going to do something. We're going to jump an exercise. But it really just makes the use of the reins secondary, and it's just such a huge skill to have.
And that does apply to whether you're you could be a backyard trail rider, an endurance rider, whatever.
Well, and you don't need any fancy training facility to do it. I mean, it works great in an indoor arena. You can, because obviously they're not going to jump the wall. It works great with a fence line. It could be in a paddock. It works great with the side of a run-in shed. One of the most useful training facilities I ever saw was in Argentina, and the guys were breaking young horses that built an arena out of round bales. And, you canter up to a round bale, the horse is going to stop.
Yeah.
So it's the type of thing that I've used a wing standard as well. You know, if you ride right up to a wing standard, you'll get the same effect. But it's just a real good way to start to get the horse to think about what we're doing on their back and really getting them in tune to us so that without ever having to take their mouth, we get them to react to us. I mean, the flip side of the whoa is just to be able to cluck and have your horse move up a notch. And the same thing with a cluck. You know, if we kick a horse, their head's probably going to come up and their back's going to get hollow. They'll go faster, they'll move up, but you'll have the rail down, or you'll lose the quality of the gallop and the quality of the jump. But if you cluck and then move up, you haven't lost the quality.
And probably the ones who do this the best are the drivers.
Well, it sounds kind of like a cowboy trick to me, and I can't really say. Actually, I think I probably learned it from a dressage rider. But if you think about a dressage horse, you can canter up to a corner and halt. If you can canter into the corner of the indoor arena and halt, it gets real easy to start cantering through your corners. And, the whole idea is that the horse holds on the rail of the dressage ring or holds on something other than us having to use the bridle. And, then their balance is their own. Then we're not interrupting them.
Well, and, anytime you see Stacy Westfall do her bridleless, saddleless, her thing, it's just, you realize that it can be done for sure. I mean,
well, and the bridle, like all the aids, works best when it's used the least. So
right.
This doesn't mean that we never touch the horse's mouth. This doesn't mean that we don't take a feel of the bridle, but we should do that last. There should be a progression between, somewhere we start by saying what, we start by thinking whoa, and then we say whoa, and then we can back it up with the bridle if we have to. But it's a real good way to put a horse, sort of on the aids, on notice that we're going to do something, that they need to be focused on us and not everything else around them. And I'll tell you what, people who don't think they can stop their horse, if you ask somebody to canter across a field and halt, it'll take them 20 strides. Well, if you canter up to a 4-board fence, you realize how athletic your horse actually is.
All right, great, Craig. Well, where can people learn more about you? And I assume you're taking new students.
I love to teach them. I'm always happy to help somebody with their horse. They can find me at CraigThompsonEventing.com. They can also find me through the Professional Riders Organization at professionalriders.org.
Well, stop by our website and look at the Expert tab, and you will find Craig Thompson. And on his bio page, you will find the links to all the sites that he mentioned. That is the easiest way to find a link to you here in the show. Again, thanks to Craig, and we'll have him back on soon. Well, here's today's email. Today's email is from Carol in Maine. I really love the Horse Tip Daily shows. You didn't stop doing them, did you? It seems like I've missed a couple of days' worth. I normally listen through iTunes and just thought iTunes messed up. But then I checked the website and don't see any new ones there either. Please don't stop doing these. They are very informative. Well, Carol, we didn't stop doing them, as explained in the beginning of the show. Was just a little under the weather, so we're back. And if you'd like to thank you for your email, we appreciate that, and we're glad that you like the shows. Please drop me an email at Glenn with 2 N's at horseradionetwork.com and let me know if you are enjoying the show. We love to hear from you. Please subscribe to the show through iTunes or Zune, just like Carol does, and get the daily tips automatically downloaded to your iPod, Zune, or MP3 player. And don't forget, you can check out all the other great shows on the Horse Radio Network at horseradionetwork.com. I'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, stay safe, everyone.